What if the most visited places in Asia suddenly became ghost towns? What if entire cities built on tourism now stand empty? That nightmare is real, and it's unfolding right now. From once bustling beaches to silent mountain towns, the collapse of tourism in Asia is leaving a devastating trail. Mass layoffs, bankrupt hotels, crashing economies. In this video, we're counting down 10 Asian countries on the brink of collapse after their tourism industries were wrecked. The numbers are shocking. The losses? Irreversible for some. And the number one country on this list may never recover. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss real-world breakdowns like this. Number 10. Laos. The forgotten jewel. Laos was once a rising star in ecotourism, attracting nature lovers and backpackers to its waterfalls and river towns. But in 2025, that dream is fading fast. After COVID-19, Laos struggled to regain international attention. Now, with expensive visas, limited flight access, and a weak tourism budget, it's falling off the map. Tourism revenue has dropped over 60% compared to 2019. The UNESCO town of Luang Prabang is almost empty. River cruises on the Mekong? Cancelled. And small family-owned ghost houses are shutting down at record speed. With no major backup industry and little international investment, Laos is running out of time to save its economy. Number 9. Myanmar. Chaos over culture. Myanmar was once a magnet for cultural tourism, ancient temples, golden pagodas, and a warm, welcoming people. But political chaos changed everything. Since the military takeover in 2021, the country has been unstable. Now in 2025, the tourism industry is all but dead. The UN has advised against non-essential travel. Over 90% of international tour operators have pulled out. Historic sites like Bagan now sit underused and unmaintained. Locals who once thrived on tourist income have fled or switched to survival jobs. Without safety, tourists won't return, and Myanmar is bleeding billions. Number 8. Indonesia. Paradise lost. From Bali to Lombok, Indonesia was once an icon of Southeast Asian travel. But now, the islands are quiet, and not in a good way. The country saw a massive 40% drop in tourism in 2025, according to the Asian Development Bank. Why? Safety concerns, overpriced resorts, overcrowding backlash, and unreliable services. Reports of rising crime in Bali and visa complications for digital nomads have hurt trust. Even popular beach towns report hotel occupancy rates below 30%. And despite government attempts to attract long-stay travelers, many are leaving instead. Tourism once made up 5.7% of Indonesia's GDP. That's shrinking fast, and locals are paying the price. Number 7. Nepal. Empty mountains, fading hope. Nepal's economy is heavily reliant on foreign trekkers. But now, the mountains are silent. Weather extremes have shortened climbing seasons. Political uncertainty in nearby regions has made travelers nervous. And with outdated infrastructure, the once thriving trekking economy is collapsing. Bookings for Everest expeditions are down 55%. Popular tea houses in the Annapurna circuit are shutting down. And entire mountain communities are losing their only income stream. Tourism supports over 1 million jobs in Nepal. If the decline continues, rural collapse is inevitable. Number 6. Philippines. Islands in isolation. The Philippines should be booming with beach tourism, crystal waters, coral reefs, luxury escapes. But in 2025, the opposite is happening. Frequent typhoons, poor airport infrastructure, and confusing travel rules have driven tourists away. Boracay and Palawan report hotel closures. Even Manila, the capital, has seen international arrivals fall by 35% year over year. Meanwhile, regional travel bans and China's slowdown in outbound tourism have slashed numbers even more. Local tourism isn't enough to fill the gap. Fishermen, hotel staff, and tour guides now face unemployment. If things don't change, this island nation could drown in debt, not just water. Number 5. Cambodia. Empty temples, fading glory. Angkor, what used to draw millions. Today, it draws silence. In 2025, Cambodia's visitor numbers dropped over 60% compared to pre-pandemic levels.
Why?
Rising scams, political tensions with Thailand, and weak infrastructure. Flight routes have been reduced. Tour agencies are folding. The famous Siem Reap night markets, once lively with music and bargaining, are now half empty. Cambodia invested heavily in tourism. But now, hotels are laying off workers, and locals are calling it the ghost economy. Without international trust and stability, Cambodia's tourism future is vanishing. Number 4. Sri Lanka. A comeback cut short. Sri Lanka tried to bounce back after economic and political crises. It even launched visa-free access for 40 countries in 2025. But the strategy hasn't worked. Infrastructure is still broken. Major airlines have slashed routes to Colombo. And poor reviews about cleanliness, services, and safety are flooding in. Arrivals fell 42% between January and July 2025, according to Sri Lanka's own Tourism Development Authority. Many small resorts now operate at a loss, or have shut down entirely. Tourism once made up over 12% of the nation's GDP. Now, it's under 7%. Without confidence from travelers, Sri Lanka's fragile recovery is crumbling. Number 3. Vietnam. From boom to bust. Vietnam was once the post-pandemic tourism success story. But by mid-2025, the momentum collapsed. What went wrong?
Visa konfusion.
Overcrowding backlash. Rising airfares and safety complaints. Visitor numbers are down 37% since early 2024. Halong Bay tour operators report mass cancellations. And luxury resorts are offering deep discounts just to attract locals. Western influencers now warn their followers to skip Vietnam. The government is sending mixed signals. One hand wants more tourists, the other increases fees and limits visas. If Vietnam can't restore clarity and confidence, its tourism bubble will stay burst. Number 2. India. A giant in trouble. India was a tourism titan, palaces, yoga retreats, festivals. But now, it's fighting to stay relevant. Political unrest in Kashmir, devastating heat waves, flash floods in the north, all have taken their toll. Major international tour groups have cancelled itineraries. Jaipur and Varanasi report 35% hotel occupancy, their lowest in decades. Even domestic tourism is shrinking as prices rise and safety concerns grow. India risks losing $18 billion in tourism revenue this year alone. That's not just numbers, it's millions of livelihoods gone. If stability doesn't return soon, India may face a decade-long tourism decline. Number 1. Thailand. Collapse of the king. Thailand was once the crown jewel of Asian tourism. Now in 2025, it faces a collapse unlike anything in its history. Visitor numbers have fallen by more than 60%.
Why?
Gunfire and border tensions near Cambodia. Increased crime in tourist zones. Damaged global perception. Luxury hotels in Phuket operate at just 25% capacity. Even budget hostels are closing down. Massage parlors, food vendors, street markets, they're all bleeding income. Thailand depends on tourism for over 20% of its GDP. Now it's slashing prices, offering emergency funds, and relaxing visa rules, but the recovery is stalling. If Thailand can't stabilize both image and infrastructure, its tourism collapse may trigger a national economic crisis. Asia's travel dream has turned into a slow-motion disaster. From forgotten temples to silent mountain trails, these countries are watching their future fade. The tourism collapse isn't just about airlines or hotel bookings. It's about lost hope, lost income, lost identity. So, what happens next? Can these countries recover? Or are we witnessing a permanent shift in global tourism? Let us know what you think. Were you planning a trip to Asia in 2025? Has this crisis changed your mind? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe now for more real-world breakdowns that matter.